Karachi, a city that shimmered by day, its skyline a testament to its vibrant energy and relentless pace. The sun would cast its golden hue over the sprawling metropolis, illuminating the lives of millions who called this city home. From the bustling markets to the serene beaches, Karachi was a city of contrasts, where the old met the new, and tradition intertwined with modernity. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, a different Karachi emerged. The city whispered secrets by night, its dark alleyways and shadowy corners hiding tales of intrigue and mystery. The neon lights flickered, casting eerie glows on the streets, and the hum of the day gave way to the whispers of the night. It was in this nocturnal world that the true essence of Karachi revealed itself. It was a place where fortunes were made, where dreams were realized in the blink of an eye. The markets buzzed with activity, traders haggling over prices, and deals being struck with a handshake. Wealth flowed like a river, and those with the right connections and a bit of luck could find themselves on the path to prosperity. Yet, just as quickly, fortunes could be lost. A single misstep, a moment of bad luck, and everything could vanish. The same streets that promised wealth could just as easily strip it away, leaving behind only shattered dreams and empty pockets. It was a city of high stakes, where the line between success and failure was razor thin. And it was here, in the heart of this bustling metropolis, amidst the chaos and the clamor, that a legend was born. The legend of the Shadow, Karachi's most audacious jewel thief. His exploits were the stuff of folklore, whispered in hushed tones in the city's tea houses and street corners. The Shadow was a master of his craft, a phantom who moved through the night with unparalleled skill. His heists were meticulously planned, executed with precision, and always left the authorities baffled. He was a ghost, a figure who seemed to exist only in the periphery, always just out of reach. No one knew his real name, his identity shrouded in mystery. He was a man of many faces, always changing, always adapting. His true self was hidden behind a veil of enigma, a puzzle that no one could solve. His face, when glimpsed, was always partially obscured, a fleeting image that left more questions than answers. He was a shadow, a figure who blended seamlessly into the darkness, leaving behind only the faintest trace of his presence. But everyone knew his mark. A single black lotus subtly left at the scene of his crimes. This symbol became synonymous with his legend, a calling card that struck fear and admiration in equal measure. The black lotus was a sign that the Shadow had been there, a silent testament to his prowess. He was a phantom, a whisper in the wind, always one step ahead of the law. The authorities chased shadows, their efforts always falling short as the Shadow slipped through their fingers time and time again. His movements were like the wind, unpredictable and elusive. The police were relentless, their searchlights cutting through the darkness, but the Shadow was always one step ahead. He played a game of cat and mouse with the law, a dance that he always led. His cunning and agility made him a formidable opponent, one who seemed to anticipate every move. His daring heists were the talk of the city, splashed across newspaper headlines and discussed in every corner of Karachi. Each new theft added to his legend, a mix of awe and fear echoing through the streets. People marveled at his audacity, even as they feared his next move. The Shadow was more than just a thief. He was a symbol of the city's dual nature, a reminder that in Karachi the line between light and dark, between fortune and ruin, was always blurred. And as long as the Shadow roamed the streets, the city would never be the same. They say behind every great fortune there is a great crime. This saying rings especially true in the case of the enigmatic figure known only as the Shadow. His name whispered in hushed tones, his presence felt but rarely seen. The Shadow's life was a tapestry woven with threads of mystery and intrigue, each strand more complex than the last. But behind the Shadow's crimes was a past shrouded in uncertainty. His origins were as foggy as the streets he prowled. Some say he emerged from the shadows of Karachi, a city teeming with life and secrets. The foggy streets at night seemed to mirror the ambiguity of his past, each corner hiding a piece of his story. Some whispered he was once a skilled jeweler, his talent twisted by a cruel twist of fate. In the dimly lit workshops he crafted masterpieces that dazzled the eye, but somewhere along the line, his path diverged. The delicate art of jewelry making became a gateway to a darker world, where his skills were used for deception and theft. Others believed he was a master illusionist, his sleight of hand honed to perfection in the bustling marketplaces of Karachi. The crowded markets were his stage, and the unsuspecting public his audience. With a flick of his wrist, he could make anything disappear, leaving onlookers in awe. His tricks were not just for entertainment, they were practice for the grand heists that would define his legacy. The truth remained elusive, lost in the labyrinthine alleys of his past. Each narrow winding street was a metaphor for the twists and turns of his life. The dark corners held secrets that only he knew, secrets that he guarded fiercely. His past was a maze, and he was the only one who knew the way out. The only certainty was that somewhere along the way, An ordinary life had been traded for an extraordinary destiny. As he stared out of the window at night, the cityscape reflecting his inner turmoil, he knew that his choices had set him on a path from which there was no return. His destiny was no longer his own. It was intertwined with the fate of the city itself, a destiny intertwined with glimmering diamonds and the long arm of the law. The diamonds represented the allure of wealth and power, but also the danger that came with it. The flashing police lights were a constant reminder that his time was running out. In the end, the Shadow's life was a delicate balance between the glittering allure of his crimes and the ever-present threat of capture. The Shadow's most audacious heist was etched in the city's memory. The target, the Eye of Asia, a priceless blue diamond displayed at the National Museum. The security was formidable, laser grids, motion sensors, and a small army of guards. But for the Shadow they were mere inconveniences. He moved like a phantom, a whisper of darkness slipping past lasers, his steps measured and silent. The city held its breath, captivated by the unfolding drama. And then, just as silently as he had come, he was gone, leaving behind only the echo of his legend and a single black lotus. The theft of the Eye of Asia sent shockwaves through Karachi. The police launched a massive manhunt, their pride wounded, their determination fueled by public pressure. Every nook and cranny of the city was searched, every lead followed to its bitter end. But the Shadow, like a magician concealing his secrets, vanished without a trace. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and the trail ran cold. The city buzzed with speculation. Had he escaped? Was he hiding in plain sight? The answer, when it finally came, would arrive in the most unexpected way. Section 5. A trail of glittering breadcrumbs. The Shadow, despite his meticulous planning, had made a fatal mistake. A tiny diamond, chipped from the Eye of Asia during the heist, was discovered near a pawn shop in the city's underbelly. It was a single, glittering breadcrumb, but it was all the police needed. The pawnbroker, a nervous man with shifty eyes, cracked under pressure. He led the police to a fence, a shadowy figure known only as the Weaver, who dealt in stolen treasures. The net was closing in, the intricate web woven by the Shadow beginning to unravel. Section 6. The mask slips. The Weaver, cornered like a trapped animal, bargained for his freedom. He revealed the Shadow's secret meeting place, a forgotten warehouse on the city's outskirts. Armed police stormed the building, adrenaline pumping, their every sense on high alert. They found the Shadow, not as a fearsome phantom, but as a man. He was surprisingly ordinary, almost unassuming. As they slapped on the handcuffs, a single black lotus slipped from his pocket, its delicate petals a stark contrast to the cold steel. Section 7. The price of excess. The trial was a media frenzy. Journalists from every major network gathered outside the courthouse, their cameras flashing and microphones thrust forward, eager to capture every detail of the proceedings. The courtroom sketch artists worked furiously, trying to keep up with the rapid pace of the trial, their hands moving swiftly across their canvases. The city, once captivated by his exploits, now watched in judgment as the Shadow's real name, Omar Khan, was revealed. The courtroom was packed with spectators, their faces a mix of curiosity and condemnation. The once celebrated figure who had danced on the edge of the law was now the subject of their scrutiny. He sat in the courtroom, his eyes downcast, the weight of his crimes pressing down on him. The man who had once been a master of disguise and deception was now stripped of his bravado, reduced to a mere shadow of his former self. His hands, once so deft and nimble, were now bound by the cold steel of handcuffs. He was found guilty and sentenced to a lifetime behind bars. The judge's gavel came down with a resounding thud, sealing his fate. The courtroom fell silent, the gravity of the moment sinking in. Omar Khan, the man who had once eluded capture with such ease, was now destined to spend the rest of his days in a prison cell. The Eye of Asia was recovered, its brilliance undimmed, a constant reminder of the audacious heist that had captivated a nation. The diamond, with its flawless cut and dazzling sparkle, was a testament to Omar's skill and ambition. Yet it also served as a stark reminder of the lengths to which he had gone, and the price he had paid. But the stolen diamond paled in comparison to the life Omar Khan had forfeited, a life traded for fleeting fame and the allure of forbidden treasures. As he sat in his cell, the reality of his choices weighed heavily on him. The once glamorous life of a master thief had given way to the harsh, unyielding reality of incarceration. The walls of his cell, cold and unfeeling, were a constant reminder of the freedom he had lost. The allure of the forbidden treasures that had once driven him now seemed hollow and meaningless. In the end, the price of excess was far greater than he had ever imagined. Section 8. Behind bars, but not behind memories. Years passed, the Shadow's legend faded, replaced by newer, more sensational crimes. Omar Khan, once a phantom who haunted the city's imagination, became a number, lost in the labyrinthine depths of the prison system. But some said that on moonless nights when the city slept, you could still hear the echo of his legend. A whisper in the wind, a fleeting shadow, a reminder that even in the heart of a bustling metropolis, some secrets never truly die. Section 9 Lessons Unlearned. The story of the Shadow is a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most meticulously crafted facades can crumble. It highlights the allure of wealth and the intoxicating power of anonymity, but also the steep price of such fleeting temptations. Omar Khan's story serves as a stark reminder that true fulfillment is not found in material possessions or fleeting fame, but in honesty, integrity, and the pursuit of a life lived in the light, not in the shadows.